Good evening and welcome to Just the News. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for joining us. Now, in something that will cause people some worry, scientists have now said the very transmissible Delta variant of COVID-19, which is the variant that originated in India, has now mutated again into what they are calling the Delta Plus variant. According to PTI, scientists have said there's no reason for immediate concern right now because of low incidence of this variant in the country. The Delta variant, which is the B16172 variant, is the one that originated in India. The new mutation is being called B161721 Delta Plus. Now, as of the 7th of June, the health agency has said Delta Plus was present in 6 genomes from India. Niti Aayog member VK Paul has said vaccination will scale up from next week and they will keep an eye on the Delta Plus variant as well. Virus transmission, he said, is very low right now. Cluster of cases should be contained. We are dealing with a highly transmissible variant this year than we were in 2020. Hence, we need to exercise greater caution and strictly abide by COVID appropriate behavior. In the meantime, you'll know that several states have now begun unlocking or opening up, and there are visuals of gatherings of people in malls, in markets, not always wearing their masks. India has now reported its first death post-COVID vaccination. A government panel has confirmed the death of a 68-year-old man due to anaphylaxis after taking the vaccine. The death assessment of 31 serious adverse events was studied after vaccination, and it's confirmed that one person died of anaphylaxis after the dose. Vaccine manufacturer Bharat Biotech has said supplying Covaxin to the central government at 150 rupees per dose is simply not viable or sustainable in the long term. Now, in a statement, the company has said that the reasons why Covaxin has a higher price is because of low procurement volumes, high distribution costs, and retail margins. Now, they've said the supply price of Covaxin to the government of India at 150 rupees is a non-competitive price and clearly not sustainable in the long run, which is why higher prices in private markets are required to offset these costs. It also added that it's invested up till now 500 crore rupees from its own resources for product development, clinical trials, and setting up manufacturing facilities of Covaxin. For private hospitals, the central government has fixed a cap of a maximum of 1,410 rupees per dose of Covaxin, including administration charges and GST. The Joint Secretary of the Health Ministry, Love Agarwal, has said almost 85% decline has been seen in daily cases since the peak was reported. He said we are witnessing a situation after 75 days, thus indicating an overall decline of the infection rate. The Health Ministry has also said that for people below the age of 20, effectively children, they accounted for about 11.6% of the total cases in the second wave, and the number was 11.3% in the first wave, so it's not really that different. India reported 60,471 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours, but 2,726 deaths. The Union Health Ministry has, of course, pointed out that this is an 85% decline from the peak around the 7th of May in the number of daily cases. According to a study published by Lancet, a very respected medical journal, the Delta variant, which is the variant that originated in India, doubles the risk of hospitalization when compared to the Alpha variant. The Alpha variant is the one that originated in the UK. The study has also added that Pfizer and AstraZeneca vaccines provide good protection against the Delta variant. The study has found that the Pfizer vaccine offers a 92% protection against the Alpha variant and 79% against the Delta strain 2 weeks after the second dose. With regards to AstraZeneca, it was 60% protection against the Delta variant and 73% for the Alpha variant after the second dose. States that have announced changes in their lockdown regulations. Puducherry has extended lockdown until the 21st of June with additional restrictions. Parks, gardens, multiplex, auditorium, museum, libraries will remain closed. Gatherings are prohibited. West Bengal has extended its lockdown until the 1st of July. Government and private offices are allowed to open at 25% strength from the 16th of June. In other news now, away from COVID, on the 5th of June, a 72-year-old Muslim man was assaulted while he was on his way to a mosque. in Uttar Pradesh's Ghaziabad district. Attackers allegedly abducted Abdul Samad from an auto rickshaw, dragged him to a hut in a nearby forested area where they reportedly forced him to shout slogans, punched him, and beat him with wooden sticks, the video of which has now gone viral on the internet. They also called him a Pakistani spy and cut off his beard. In a statement that Mr. Samad made to NDTV, he said he was on his way when he was offered a lift in the auto rickshaw. Two other men also got in. They took me to a room where they thrashed me, they forced me to chant slogans, they took away my mobile phone, and they cut my beard. The police has now registered a case against one Pravesh Gujjar, believed to be the main accused. They are looking for the others. The Delhi High Court has granted bail to Iqbal Tanha, Devangana Khalita, and Natasha Narwal in the Delhi riots case. They were all accused under the UAPA, which is the Terror Act, which is a very stringent terror act. The order was pronounced by the bench of Justices Siddharth Mridul and Anup Bhambani. Today, the court held that prima facie, no offence under sections 15, 17, and 18 of UAPA has been made out in the material on record against these three people. Now, Asif Tana is a BA student of Jamia Millia Islamia. Natasha and Devangna are scholars at JNU. They were both associated with the Pinjra Tod Collective. They've all been in jail for over a year. They will now be released from jail upon completion of formalities. Now, this was a case drawn up by the Delhi police after the CAA protests, where they basically said that there was a larger conspiracy that led to the Delhi riots in February 2020. They basically made a case saying that because these people organized protests, because the protests had actually blocked the roads, and because the roads were blocked, people got angry and it led to a riot. The case court has now cautioned that when using the Terror Act, acts of terror have to be very clearly, actually listed out. And in this case, there were no acts of terror according to the court. An update on the Mehul Choksi story, the prime accused in the 14,000 crore rupee PNB scam. In an affidavit to the Dominica High Court, Indian authorities have said Mehul Choksi's Indian citizenship has not ceased as of this date. His claim of renouncing his Indian citizenship is contrary to the laws in India and completely erroneous, the Indian government has said. The CBI, which is investigating the PNB scam, filed an affidavit at the Dominica High Court and opposed his bail petition. The CBI said that Mehul Choksi is and remains an international fugitive who continues to evade the law enforcement agencies in India. Following this, the court rejected his bail plea. Mehul Choksi and his nephew Nirav Modi have been prime accused in the 14,000 crore rupee PNB scam, where they basically falsified letters to borrow a lot of money. He fled to Antigua, where he bought himself a citizenship and renounced his Indian citizenship, allegedly, after which he was kidnapped from Antigua in May and brought to Dominica, where he claimed that Indian authorities or Indian agents had in fact kidnapped him. A piece of political news before we move on. According to PTI, AIADMK on Monday expelled 17 of its members, including party spokesperson V. Pugarendi for interacting with V. Shashikala. Now, according to AIADMK, they've issued a warning against staying in touch with Shashikala while deliberating on leaked phone calls allegedly involving Shashikala and some other party members. In the call, she alleged that she would make a comeback to the party in the future. On to news from business and economy right now. According to government data, India's retail inflation shot up to a 6-month high of 6.3% in May. It had come down to about 4.23% in April. Now, the rise is largely because of rising fuel prices, where petrol and diesel now, one past 100 and the other one coming very close to touching 100 in several states. Taking a look at it, so effectively, to break this down, the inflation number measures how expensive it is to go about your daily life. So there is a WPI number, which is the wholesale index, which basically is a basket of items you buy in the wholesale market, and it measures how the change in the prices of these items, month on month. And the consumer price index, which is a basket of consumer price, which includes fuel, electricity, food, medicine, that sort of thing. So fuel and light, which is electricity category, has gone up 11.5% from April to May, and that's what's driving up the whole number. The price of food in the month of May went up 5%. The price of vegetable was down about 2%, but the price of edible oil or cooking oil has gone up 30% between April and May. Now, it is likely that the current spike of prices that we're seeing in the month of June will drive up inflation even further, because the price of diesel effectively impacts the price of all food and all consumables that you actually buy. Taking a look now at news coming in from across the world. According to the Associated Press, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that the next planned relaxation of COVID restrictions in England has been delayed by 4 weeks until the 19th of July because of the spread of the Delta variant. Remember, the Delta variant is the variant that originated in India. So the UK, which was hoping to actually open up this week, has delayed by 4 weeks because of the Delta variant. And he has also said that he's confident that they won't need any more than 4 weeks, as millions are now getting fully vaccinated against the virus, which could save thousands of lives. At least 50 children have died in Pakistan in a terrible story where over 1,500 people suddenly tested positive for HIV following the discovery of needles being reused in a government hospital in Pakistan's Ratodero town. The physician, Muzaffar Gangro, who is the chief accused, according to the AFP, claims that the other doctors are pinning the outbreak on him because they're jealous of his success. The country's lack of medical infrastructure is now forcing those who are sick to go to private hospitals, which they cannot afford. Well, before we go any further, I must issue a warning. The next story has references to sexual activity. So if you are underage, you shouldn't be watching this story. DC Comics apparently believes that heroes don't go down on women. According to Variety magazine, DC decided to cut out an oral sex scene from a popular animated series called Harley Quinn between Batman and Catwoman, saying heroes don't do that. In an interview with Variety, co-creators and executive producers Justin Halpern and Patrick Schumacher revealed that in the third season of Harley, they had a moment between Batman and Catwoman, and DC wanted that moment cut out, saying, and I quote, "You can't do that, you absolutely cannot do that, heroes don't do that." The creators apparently went on to ask, "Are you saying heroes are selfish lovers?" To which the response they got from DC was that we sell consumer toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy of Batman if he is also seen going down on someone. End quote. This has, of course, caused a large debate on Twitter about what kind of heroes are really heroes when it comes to women fans. Taking a quick look now at updates from the world of sports, the Wimbledon 2021 final will be played to a full crowd of 25,000 people in attendance at England's Centre Court Stadium. It will have 50% capacity at the beginning of the tournament as well. Wimbledon is set to begin on the 28th of June. The UK government's decision to ease COVID restrictions on crowds will also allow for increased capacity at the European Championship and other sporting events. And one piece of positive news before we leave you for today: Rajasthan's Bikaner has become the first city in the country to start door-to-door vaccination. This will be applicable for everyone above the age of 45. According to the Hindustan Times, the government has started a helpline where people can call and register themselves, and if at least 10 people register, then the vaccine van will come to your address with the vaccines in tow. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out our YouTube page and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. We've just uploaded an interesting conversation with Dr. Shahid Jamil, who's a very respected virologist, one of the best in the country, talking about the third wave and the possibility of what might happen and when it might happen. That's on our YouTube page. Take a look at it. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.